Now, the report also sets a target for 2015 for 0 new infections among babies. Ambitious? Let's find out. Joining me now, CANFAR President Christopher Bunting, and a woman who needs no introduction, Canadian Juno Award winner, singer, songwriter, and newly appointed ambassador of CANFAR. CANFAR, by the way, the Canadian Foundation for AIDS Research, Keshia Chante. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Both of you. First of all, congratulations on your new appointment.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited. We've been working really hard today, World AIDS Day, spreading awareness and hoping to get a lot of funding for the cause, yeah.
Of course. Let's start with you, Christopher. What do you think about this report, the report to the UN?
I think it's a great report. It's great to have objectives and it's great to have goals, and I think that's exactly what that sets out for us. And it's what you've just said is entirely true, is that we really, a lot of things have to come together in order for that to happen. For babies, for the transmission of the HIV virus from a mother to a child, the medicine is already available for that. Matter of fact, Canada was a world leader in developing that science. And that's already in place. Now it's a question of making that accessible to as many women around the world as we possibly can. The rate of protection is literally 99%, and so it's a matter now of access, of getting it out there. So I think that can be done, but there are a lot of other things that have to happen. It's social infrastructures, it is cultures, it is more research, it's all of those things that need to come together.
Okay. Keshia, now, I mean, you've heard the numbers, you've been researching this, and amazing to hear. I mean, Bono said it the other day in Sydney that a generation, perhaps our children, they could live without ever having AIDS or knowing about it, but not having to worry about it in their lifetime. What were some of the statistics, numbers, facts that really stuck out for you, and why did you get involved?
Well, I got involved because, first of all, knowledge is power. Right. And the type of access we have to information is unbelievable. And just for me, there were a lot of stats that I didn't know. And I mean, there's so much access to information for me on a daily basis. So things like 25% of new cases of HIV are actually people, in Canada especially, are under the ages of 24. And there's this idea, and this is what really was compelling for me, there's this idea that the issue of HIV and AIDS is an overseas issue, and it is. It is a big deal over there, and there's a lot of things going on that we're working really hard to fight and fix and help. But it's still prominent in Canada. There are people in Canada who are suffering from this, and there are people dying every day. People are dying every 16 seconds from this. So it's a big deal. And another thing that I really wanted to say is that the CANFAR did a survey, and grade 9 students in Canada have this idea that there's a cure for HIV and AIDS. And there isn't. And I wanted to say that. And as a youth ambassador, I wanted to say to my peers and the people who are my age that there isn't a cure. We're still fighting. And to get to that place where we can wipe it out for new infections for babies, we're going to have to work really hard, spread awareness really fast, raise a lot of money, and make it happen. Yeah.
And that brings me to you, Christopher. Is there going to be a cure in our lifetime?
I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Hard to say, but I would have hoped, very least in our lifetime, that we're going to reach a point where we have a vaccine, which is going to save many more lives. But I think what Keshia was just saying is absolutely critical. We can also, this young generation has the power in its hands to bring AIDS to its knees in this country. It's a question of how we behave. It's a question of making the right decisions. It's a question of having the opportunity to talk to peers, to listen to others, and make the right decisions. So I think that's a huge part of addressing AIDS and really tackling AIDS in this country is getting young people to understand, to think about it, and to act accordingly. Scientists, and that's where we desperately need research dollars in this country, scientists need to keep at their work to keep striving towards better care for people who are HIV positive and ultimately a vaccine and a cure.
Now, Keshia, what exactly are you going to be doing for CANFAR?
As a youth ambassador, my hopes are to spread the word. Right. There are a lot of campaigns that CANFAR has, not even just World AIDS Day, but on a continuing basis, and they definitely do one, Have a Heart, and it's for all the schools across Canada, and they spread awareness and they raise funding for it. So pretty much as a youth ambassador, my goal is to spread the message, to take the discomfort that there is to talk about sexual education, and hopefully bring it on a real level and make people comfortable. So, and hopefully get it through, because fortunately, it's quite avoidable. Not in all instances. There are some different instances, but it's quite avoidable. And in Canada, we have the resources. We just need the knowledge.
Do you plan on getting that message out maybe with a song?
I think music's an amazing thing, and it's awesome that, you know, when your song plays on the radio, it's playing for millions and millions of people, and I'm very blessed. So if I can find music that I can make that will get the message out there, yeah, definitely.
Okay. And do you plan maybe a trip overseas? Do you see yourself going to Africa?
I would love to. I have done charity work in Dominican Republic.
Right.
That was amazing. I am excited and hoping to work with CANFAR and doing that, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to put you guys on the spot with the song. I just
no.
It's a very good idea. I mean, music does reach people.
Maybe you'll be featured.
Yeah, I might be the backup.
There we go. It started right here at CP24.
A new career.
There we go. Keshia, you have tons of fans who are watching tonight. You have tons of fans in our newsroom, actually.
Awesome.
What do you want to say to your fans out there, especially the young fans, when it comes to HIV and AIDS?
I want to say to the young fans that there is no cure for HIV and AIDS. We do have the capabilities and the possibilities to end it.
Right.
All it takes, and my whole opinion of it, is if everybody in the world donated $1 and told one person, I think we would get it done really fast. It's still a prominent issue. 33 million people are suffering from it, and just the other year, 2.6 million people died from it. So it's still very prominent. It's real. It's happening in Canada as well. So I'm hoping that they can go to endaids.ca and get a virtual red ribbon. I'm hoping that they can just learn about it and just tell a friend or two. It won't hurt, and just be safe. It's possible. You just be safe. It's all it is. So I'm hoping to get that message out.
And I think the most sobering stat that you said to me was the 16 seconds.
Yeah.
Repeat that again.
Well, every 12 seconds, somebody is infected with HIV, and every 16 seconds, somebody dies from HIV. And I think that's pretty prolific. I mean, someone is being infected and dying as we speak, so.
Do you have a message, Christopher, to the government, to scientists out there? Is there something that you want to say in terms of hopefully finding a cure in our lifetime, and by 2015 having no cases in children?
I think there's international agreement at for example, the World AIDS Conference in Vienna this past summer. There is definitely international agreement that if we take our foot off the pedal at all, the numbers start to escalate. So there has to be a concerted effort, a continuing concerted effort by governments, by research institutions, by organizations like ours, like CANFAR, that raises money for research, and that we cannot give up. And the same way Keshia cannot give up on talking to young people, I think we have to keep reminding people, not just on World AIDS Day, but around the rest of the calendar, that this is an issue. It's preventable. But there's still a lot of research. We've come a long, long way with our research, but there's still a gap to be closed, and we need to really push hard so it is closed in our lifetime.
And it's not just something that's happening far away. It's something that's happening here. We just interviewed Jim, who has been dealing with AIDS for 17 years, and it's something that's happening in our country, as you mentioned, Keshia.
Yeah, it's true, and it's scary, and I'm just hoping that people just are safe. Protect yourself. It's not too much work. Just do it, and I'm telling you, you're saving your life. So
make the right decisions.
Make the right decisions. That's right. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Very nice chatting with you.
Thank you.